from Mike Chambers, apparently, of the Denver Post. I believe Sam Girard was the big piece in the efforts to get Jack Eichel here, and I still think Girard is going to be traded. I think the Avs want a forward for him, and they want to lose his $5 million long-term cap hit. They were highly unhappy with Girard's play in the second round series against Vegas. His turnovers, he didn't produce offensively. He was not good, and I think that's lingered into this season. And primarily, it's Bo Byram that has shown the Avs that he is better than Girard. Funny enough, at a point yesterday, for some reason, Girard left practice early. And on the second power play, Byram had his spot, but he will be playing tonight. Girard against Vancouver. Okay, so if you look at Sam Girard, for those of you who don't remember, Sam Girard was a really big piece in the Duchesne trade. I think he was one of those pieces where you're like, oh, this is beautiful. I love this so much. It's hilarious that Nashville gave him up. I'm just going to get up his hockey DB stats. He's a little like undersized, but he's a great skater. Mm-hmm. He's a left-handed defenseman. He's offensive. He can get you like 30 points, no problem, right? And here's what I really like about Sam Girard. He's from Quebec.
Oh, my God.
I'm not saying.
So Marc Bergevin will be after him. Like, look at what he did, the escapade he did this summer, right?
It makes sense. Go get the French guy.
Yeah.
Before we sort of get to like speculation, I just don't get why you would trade that good of a player. Like I think he's playing with Jack Johnson. No wonder he's going to look bad. No offense, Jack Johnson.
Oh, they have both the Johnsons. I always forget.
They do. I have a feeling this is a case of, he's not playing great right now, and he makes $5 million, and we're right against the cap. Like, that's what this screams to me, because he makes $5 million for 7 more years. He's 23 years old.
Yes, I always forget how young, because he did the 2016 draft. Yeah.
Like, the thing for me is looking at the defensemen they have. They have like 4 very good left-handed defensemen, if I can count right. Right? Girard, Taves, Byram, and then like Ryan Murray, that's where you kind of drop off. But like, he's a suitable left-handed defenseman. I just wonder if that's the move, if that's the move you want to make.
I can't believe he's only 23.
Yeah. Because he made it right away. I know he played a few games for Nashville, and then he was also in the World Juniors. And then it's weird to me, because I always kind of felt with that contract, and I know he's not doing as well, just like that was a steal of a deal, because like I thought that he was just going to keep getting better, that you had him at $5 million, that you had these other younger guys. And I think for me, the big thing was, okay, you have Ryan Murray, you don't have him for very long. That's $2.5 million right there.
Right.
And then you have Eric Johnson, and I don't have it up, Alex, but how much is he making?
2 more years at $6 million this year.
Yeah. And like, you're not going to trade that, but you could at least wait until that expires.
You say we thought he could get better. He's 23. He can still get better. Like
he's also good right now anyway.
Yeah.
He's just good. Like he's the kind of defenseman you want in the game right now. Like, think of that. A guy who's going to be, by the end of that contract, it's going to be a steal. Is he just not like Shane Gostisbehere, you think? Like, it's just, he's a good.
Don't give him the Shane
I think it's just.
Dude, Gostisbehere's been good this year. It was just Philly. No, because you know what screwed Gostisbehere is the coach who knew how to play him left, and they brought in Alain Vigneault, who the players seem to hate, and coaches like he's a turtle. That's always been the thing against Vigneault. He's too defensively minded. Yeah. So you bring in he was already there. This great. There's a reason he played in the World Juniors and all that. Segment Daniel doesn't know about coming up, by the way. We're going to test him about World Junior stuff. But you know what I mean? I just wonder if it's just he's an offensively talented, great defenseman, and I think they're dumb. Yeah, by the way, Daniel, you mentioned how Eric Johnson's 2 more years. He expires the same time as McKinnon. So just give that money to McKinnon and keep the good defenseman you have. What are you doing?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's just because, we were talking about Sam Girard for so long and how good he was and how he's a future piece.
He still is good.
Of the Avs. Yeah. The thing is,
he's good.
I don't know, was it the usage that was affected this year? Was it because Bowen Byram's getting better, but at the same time, Devon Taves, it's just with Colorado, it's just kind of for me, it just they had these crazy deals that they did, but it just are they just overstacking things to a point now that you're not using players properly?
I don't know why cap is an issue when Nathan McKinnon's going to take less, as he claims. I don't know.
Like, was it necessary to get Devon Taves?
No, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You're good if you keep both of them.
They also have. Sorry, go.
No, it just doesn't make sense because again, Eric Johnson's money goes to McKinnon. It's not a problem. So
they have a boatload of money next year.
Does it help them keep Kadri and like Burakovsky?
Okay,
Sure, but
so
what are you doing?
they have $25 million in cap space. They have to then re-sign Francouz, Nishushkin, Kemper, and Burakovsky and Kadri, which are a lot. Like that's a lot of guys you got to re-sign if you elect to bring back all of them.
Yeah.
But I think if you're so concerned about cap space, there are a couple guys that, you know what, maybe I'd rather trade them than Sam Girard. Like one guy that stands out to me personally, JT Compher, 26 years old. He's not horrible. He's a good he's a good usable NHL player, but he makes $3.5 million.
So, like, think of it like this: $20 million gets you Burakovsky and Kadri, right? Like, that's not a problem, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So okay, McKinnon, again, that's not a problem because Eric Johnson gets his money. Okay, that's because that's what you worry about McKinnon, right? So he'll be locked up. Eric Johnson, goodbye. Sorry to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's taken care of. You McKinnon. Landeskog is locked up. Rantanen is locked up for 4 more years as well. So your core is set. Makar is also extended. Devon Taves has a few more years. That might be a bit tight, but your window to win is right now. Your window to win is before McKinnon's contract is up anyway. So, not to mention, if you see that he's being taken off of practice, and it's not public knowledge you want to get rid of him, and again, playing him on the third pairing with Jack Johnson, the value all of a sudden has just tanked. So, trade him later. Again, it's just, you don't trade young defensemen before they're ready when they have so much talent. You don't just get rid of them.
Or just don't trade him at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Learn from Nashville.
Leave it alone. Yeah, stop trading your star defenseman. Honestly, they could still have Jones. And I know Jones isn't great, but like Jones in their system, not only Nashville plays, maybe he'd still be good.
Well, they needed a number 1 center.
Yeah, and Matthew Shane's all right.
No, it was Ryan Johansson, right?
I know, I bet it did.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
Yo, Duchesne, I was telling Alex, like 10 points in 12 games, off to a hot start, I'll tell you.
Isn't it crazy? At one point, they had Matt Duchene, Ryan Johansson, and Kyle Turris.
Yeah.
Ryan O'Reilly. Oh, yeah.
On Nashville.
On Nashville.
But
Nashville.
in Colorado, yeah, you're right, too. It was just Duchene, McKinnon, Stasny, O'Reilly.
It's also funny how Nashville, all those centers sucked. Like Benito was the best one. You're like, how?
Yeah.
They have Luke Gooden, so it's okay.